No one cares about your deadlift when you're shirtless at the beach. It doesn't matter if you lift 150, 200, 250 kilograms, like that's like what, 500 pounds at the gym. But if you're at the beach and you're not dialed in, you're not lean, you don't have a visible six pack, or the capped shoulders, or the bicep vein, or the V taper in your back that makes you look aesthetic, then there's no point of your deadlift if you're training for looks. The most important thing, the first thing that a person sees, be it a guy or a girl, especially in terms of attraction to you, when girls look at you, even from a distance, what do they see? They notice the V taper, the physique. So, getting back to the beach, when you're at the beach, your goal is to look as good and as dialed in as possible to get as much attention as you want, as much validation. I know it sounds shallow, but we're human beings. We all desire these things. So I would love it if people come and told me, "Oh, Paul, you look so amazing. How you look so lean?" Or girls come up to me and ask me for my name and stuff. I would love that, especially at the beach once I have that perfect physique. The beach body, as they call it. And if you ask yourself, I'm pretty sure that even you would want the same thing. And you will say, no, I work out to lift as heavy as possible, to become as big as possible, which is nice. But what is the end goal? Obviously, number one is self satisfaction. But the very next thing is females. So don't lie to yourself that you don't work out for girls. Because I do. And it's a pretty good feeling too. With every rep, one, two, like, for lateral raises for your shoulders, or like weighted pull ups. And you're getting closer to your aesthetic, your dream physique. And more than the girls and validation, it is the satisfaction of knowing that you are doing your best. So there's four quadrants in this. I came up with this like about half an hour ago, and I was like busy making this. So just to simplify it and to break it down for you, the four quadrants. This is ugly and weak. You can be like fat or thin or like skinny fat, like most brown people are. Then there is ugly and strong. There's hot, that's good looking, that is always lean. Even if like you have lots of muscle, you got to be like 12% body fat. So here's the hot and weak. So you see these TikTok guys, they look attractive, no doubt, but they're probably weak. Stronger than the average human, but weak in terms of people who go to the gym. And then there is hot, that's good looking and strong. So low body fat percentage and strong. That is what we aspire to be. But in the start, this is for like the people who go to the gym. Most of the guys who go to the gym, about 50% of them, they remain ugly and they remain weak. Why is that? When I started going to the gym, at first it was fun. But then there's periods where it goes up and down, where I don't feel like going to the gym. It's too tiring. It takes too much time, or I don't have a partner to go with. In that case, I don't push as much, and then there have been months of no growth or like decline where you give into junk food. So most guys stay here for like the entirety of their lives. These percentages are just estimates that I've put on the board that are like quite mostly accurate, but not perfect exact numbers. So 50% of guys are that. They don't make progress at the gym or in the diet or in their looks or anything. So they remain ugly and weak. The next thing is people start going to the gym. Guys start going to the gym. And then they see themselves getting stronger. They see the biggest guy in the gym do deadlifts. And they're like, oh, I want to do deadlifts. So they start doing deadlifts. and they start bulking and training for powerlifting and weightlifting instead of building a perfect physique. And if that is their goal, then there's no problem in that. That's like very good. Because like people also have goals to go and compete in powerlifting and weightlifting, especially for their country. If that is the goal that they're training for, respect to them, all good. But if they're training to look good, but they don't look good, there's something they're doing wrong. What is that? They end up eating a shitload of carbs. That's like rice, potato, and then the dirty bulk. And I've been there for quite a few months, on and off, on and off. But like even now, you can tell that my face is angular. It's because recently I've started dialing in, going for swimming, hitting the gym, and kind of taking care of my diet. So that really helps a lot. 35% of guys are here. They aim only for strength at the gym, which like strength is also respectable. But in terms of pure looks, they don't look good. Like honestly, if you would look at them, you wouldn't necessarily consider them like model level or something. They're just like average people who pass by. You can't even tell that they lift, but they're strong as shit. It's a nice place to be, much better than the first place. That's like being unhealthy, watching TV shows, eating shit, and doing nothing. This is the second quadrant. Coming to the third quadrant is looking good, hot, and weak. How does this happen? Mostly these are guys and like girls, if you're watching, who have good metabolism and they're like blessed by God or something. You know those people who naturally are lean and have the six pack over there? They go to the gym like a few times and build pretty good muscles. But like they can't lift heavy. And like no shame to them. This is where like 10% of guys who go to the gym currently are. Or like even who don't go to the gym. Like there's obviously some black dude who does like 5 push-ups and gets jacked. So I'm not saying that. I'm saying if you train for anything, if it is for strength but you remain ugly, you should choose hot and weak. Because that gets you the most eyeballs and attention. And in this current generation, attention is the economy. Attention is the currency. So hot and weak, what is this? Basically like just focus on your food and train decently. Let me give you an example. This guy here, who looks like a model, he can deadlift maybe like 120 kilos. Pretty good, more than most of the people around. But this guy here, who's ugly and strong, he can deadlift 180 kilos. Wow. This guy's so much stronger than him, but he holds so much more fat and so much more puffiness and doesn't have the pretty privilege. So this guy will be preferred more because of the halo effect. What is the halo effect? Halo effect is like basically associating good looks with good qualities like kindness, lovingness, and more trustworthy. It's just the way of the world. Does it matter if it is fair or not? Just play to win. That's like be selfish in your own game of life. This is where like I currently am aiming for. Obviously, I want to be like excellently attractive and strong as a bull. But before that, I'd like to be hot and weak and like have the perfect physique and then build up my strength. So like 10% of the guys are here and I aim to be there by what's the month now? It's April. I aim to be here by like July or August. Perfect physique or like much better than the average person and like 12% body fat. And I want to be shirtless on camera and show you my hard work. And then the next thing, that's like 5% of the world's population now. I can imagine Mike Thurston. He's like extremely good looking and strong. Yeah. I can imagine Mike Thurston. Tristan Tate is not like low body fat, but he's still a pretty good looking guy. And he's also like strong and attractive. Now, the way to get into this, it's to push to failure almost every set that you go to the gym. People say like keep reps in reserve, push like to 80% failure and then rest. And after 2 minutes, jump back into the workout. But you should rest as long as it takes you to get enough energy and strength for the next set. I started doing that recently and it's pretty working pretty good as you can see. This is also like the lighting and stuff, but still pretty good. So I want you to ask yourself honestly, on this quadrant, where do you stand? And what steps can you take to move from here to here to here to here? Now, is it possible to move from ugly and weak to hot and weak? If you're ugly and weak, that means you don't have enough strength or enough muscle to be able to move weight. So if you go on a cut, you'll just look like a deflated balloon. That doesn't look as good. So for the first few months, I would say, maybe the first year, try to build up strength, but don't massively focus just on like one rep maxes or like, low volume, 3 to low intensity, 3 to 5 reps. Focus on like 10 to 15 reps. That's what I've started focusing on. That's what has been giving me the most growth over the years. And more than that is your diet, bro. Your diet is where, this is where even I fumble a lot. But recently I've started, trying to focus. Like today I had gone out, I was gonna eat shawarma, but I controlled. How do I do that? I had a friend with me and I told him, don't let me have shawarma. And like he helped. So you got to work on your willpower on that as well. So like yeah, basically the point of this video is to tell you, instead of just focusing on being like a swole, puffy faced, high body fat percentage powerlifter, focus more on looking good, on aesthetics. Because this is what will get you most eyeballs, most attention from girls especially, and more opportunities even in the workplace. If you go to work or you go to run a business, if you look good, you're automatically treated better, and you have that positive feedback loop in your mind that I look so good, I deserve more, I deserve more. And that's a very good thing because you've put in the work to work so hard for this body that you're building. So you naturally, it would be surprising to have low self-esteem. So you have high self-esteem, people start treating you even better, and you obviously stick with the gym and you work hard, and then you reach higher and higher, and you work even better, more opportunities, you look better, more opportunities, you feel better, more opportunities, close friends, high value men and women around you. That comes by looking good and by being a man of character, discipline, going to the gym even when you don't feel like it. And like going for swimming. Bro, I love swimming. I'm going to go swimming even in the mornings, in the sunshine. And like, have fun in the pool. And then steam. I've started doing steam like 15 or 20 minutes every time I go to the pool. It's like we have a steam room next to the pool. And over there I sit with my shorts and I contemplate about life. I sit there, I close my eyes. And if I open my eyes, it's like the room is full of steam. And then I imagine myself to be on top of like the Himalayas with clouds around me, like in solitude. It's like a fun thing to do. But that's the point of this video. Cardio, diet, workout, and eat ancestral foods like eggs and meat and beef and cook in butter and ghee. It's like the advice I've always told you. Just focus on that. And if you need a little more help, like text me on Instagram at Paul Sones. Cheers.